Hello and welcome to The Takeaway with Tyra. Thank you for joining me today. Now, so that you don't miss out on any of my updates, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also like hearing from you, so go ahead and like and comment. My guests are always exciting and have great things to share with us. What I do on this show is I have one guest and I ask them one question. Then they get the floor. So here we go. So thank you once again for joining me on The Takeaway today. And I am so excited to have a dear, wonderful On Passive founder, Monique Frew. Welcome to The Takeaway.
Thank you so much, Miss Tara. Let me before I continue, let me say this. You are my sister from another mother. Who says that?
I love it.
That's Mr. Ash, the Unpassive CEO. He says, we are all sisters and brothers from another mother. The first day I heard him say that, I was like, wow, this is so amazing. Thank you so much for having me on the show. The takeaway, I like the name, the takeaway, and then it's one guess and one question. I like the concept. It's simple, it's simplified, it's beautiful. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored. Aww. When I got your text, I was like, yay, I'm getting now, because of Unpassive now, I'm becoming popular. Like Tara wants to. Hey. I was so happy. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that is wonderful. And you know, the reason I am reaching out is through the On Passive grapevine. I heard that you are writing a book about On Passive. And that so excited me because I'm seeing all kinds of people come forward with all kinds of amazing ideas about On Passive. And, you know, we're growing in leaps and bounds. So, of course, Monique, I am going to ask you, why is it you have decided to write a book about On Passive? So take it away, Monique.
Thank you so much. I hope if I exceed 15 minutes, you will not mind, right? But I'll try to make it short, to the point. Well, first thing, thank you. It's a great question. I'm writing a book because I have a great mentor. He passed on a few years ago, but he said this. His name is Dr. Miles Monroe, late Dr. Miles Monroe. He's been my mentor for years. And he said, I heard him say this: we have the responsibility. He said, by the time you are 30 years old, you ought to have written a book or thinking of writing a book. Wow. The first day I heard him say that, I was angry. I'm like, I'm 50, or just to say I'm now a centurion, right? I'm like, well, if I'm supposed to do it at 30, then it's too late. What am I going to write? So, and he said that if we don't write, we are heritage thieves. I was like, what is he saying? How can I be a thief? What did I? Then I thought about it, and he said, look, the older generation has a responsibility to leave information for the previous, or the, not previous, for the younger generation. Right. He says, if you leave this one without writing a book, you are a thief, because you're going to create a vacuum. You've had certain experiences that the younger generations, they don't have. They need you and me, for example, to put it in a book so that they can read and say, you know what? She went through this. This is how they did this. They had this experience. This is how they overcame challenges. We put it in a book for them.
Yes.
So it didn't make sense initially because I heard it and I kind of like said, no, that's not for me. This is like maybe 10 years ago or more. And honestly, at that time, I had no way of knowing that I was going to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
But it shook me to the core. When he said I was going to be a thief, I said, man, I don't want to be a thief, but how do I write a book? How do I do it? I don't, but you see, he put it very simply. That is all about giving information and helping people understand what you might have gone through,
Right.
be it maritally, be it with children. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is, nature, you're highlighting some aspects of the human life for the younger generation to feed from, if you like.
Yes.
So I did not want to be a heritage thief, but I did not know how to write a book. So fast forward, my dear friend, Dr. Benny Tinglet, you've heard her speak. She brought the OnPassive concept opportunity to me. And initially I thought, okay, it sounded amazing. Residual income, that was the catchphrase. She said, you know what, you can make some money on your kids' education. I'm like, okay, that sounds good. And then she said, we are going to have access to all these products online. We can use them for, of course, she gave me an example of Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, I thought, you know what, I have a calling in the ministry. And so I thought, you know what, this could be a platform for me, because when she said that to me, it's like my spirit, I resonated with my inner man, just jumped like, okay, this could be a platform for me to do ministry. And I like to, one of my interests is motivational speaking.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, this could be, at the time, it was just like, this could be, I wasn't really sure, but I could feel like this is something that I have to engage with. This is an idea that an opportunity that I need to engage with. So moving forward, I registered and I began to attend the first of all, the Zoom meetings. Yes. She told me, okay, for more information, we have a Zoom meeting tomorrow for guests. Why don't you attend and see whether you like the concept?
Okay.
So I said, okay, that's a good idea. So I attended the meeting the next day. And so I met Mr. Charles Awesome, who was the presenter. He further reinforced what Dr. Benny had told me the day before.
Okay.
So now I'm thinking, okay, this sounds good. I like the concept. But of course, I had very little understanding of what OnPassive was all about.
Right.
And then Mr. Charles mentioned that, okay, on Thursday, there is a corporate webinar, please attend. So I thought, okay, I'm already having sleepless nights. So now I began to have sleepless nights. I'm like, okay, I didn't sleep too good the night before because I was thinking about the concepts. Right. Is it possible that this idea, this opportunity could really transform my life or our lives, Yeah. So on Thursday, I attended the webinar and I heard Mr. Ash speak. He further, again, he added more spice to what I heard, from Dr. Benny and now Mr. Charles on the local Zoom and now the corporate webinar. I'm like, this is juicy. I need to hear more. After hearing Mr. Ash sleep that night, I could not sleep. I was listening to Mr. Ash speak at a time when the whole world was at a standstill. Yeah. We need leaders who stand and say, we will be okay. Yes. Who are coming up with ideas, they're creative, that look, we are going through this challenge now, but let's stay focused. We are going to be okay. That is what Mr. Ash was saying to me personally. I don't know what other people were hearing him say, but I heard him say, we will be okay. Yeah. Let's stay focused. This concept, this opportunity is going to transform our lives. To come back to why this book is being written right now. It's like a journal. Some aspect of the book is actually, it's a journal in terms of
Right.
my journey with Unpassive, but also some personal experiences.
Right.
So the book is called The Unpassive Opportunity. And in it, you will find the greatest opportunity.
Wow.
And I'm inviting everybody to read it because in it, you will find aspects of yourself. If you attended the webinars, you will find aspects of what you experience. But if you never attended the webinar, so for founding members that are coming after the fact, because right now the webinars have changed. It's the discussions have shifted, because this is now the I believe the number 3 to 4 years of the pre-launch. So the discussions have changed so much that if you pick up the book, you will at least see aspects of what was discussed, say, last year from sort of July of 2020, when I began to write. Some of those things were captured. You see, so it's in the book, and for those who are going to come after, they will find that story there. So again, it then makes, I guess, with my mentor who said, I have to write a book. So therefore, right now, I'm not a heritage thief. When that book is published, I'm no longer a heritage thief because I have documented a historic event.
Okay.
A historic event that the world will forever remember and talk about. There will be people moving forward. I don't think you and I will be here, but the generations after us will look and say, you know what? Once upon a time, there was this company called Unpassive that thought about humanity, that was not selfish, had this concept, but from its infancy, it incepted this idea that let's not only build a company, but let's think about the whole of humanity. Yeah. So now we have brothers and sisters all over the world, Chinese brothers, our French brothers from all over the world. We have this common goal in this company, and Ash has afforded us with this space. Now you and I are able to talk. I mean, before now, what would be the reason for you to talk to me or want to talk to me or me be on this amazing platform? You know, it's impossible. So now the book was birthed. Tyra, listen to this. I was rejected. You know, on the platform, Ash would say, you know, come and talk. You see, Ash is a great leader.
Yes.
You cannot spend months listening to him and you remain the same. It's impossible. That's what great leaders do. He says we are partners. So I was like, partners for what? I mean, it's like I've given you $1 and you're giving me $1 million. How can we be partners? He makes you feel so important and part of the family. You know what I mean? He wants the best from out of everybody. Mm-hmm. So listening to Mr. Ash for a week in, week out, it became personal. Mr. Ash would say, okay, we're going to have an ecosystem of this smart business solutions of IT products that are artificial intelligence, embedded with artificial intelligence that is embedded. He will say, what are you going to do about it? And I will say, the first time it was very personal. I thought, okay, what am I going to do about it? I have no idea. What am I going to do about it? I'm not in the IT field. Mm-hmm. But the more I listen to him speak, I realized that the internet is the new world. Yeah. Where goods and services are exchanged. Mm-hmm. It's the new world. Everything is done online, virtually right now. Like Mr. Oswald will normally say, you cannot have an online, you can have an offline business. You can have an online, this is kind of a little bit confusing sometimes when I want to say it, but it's like, you can have an online business or an online presence without an offline presence. Right. But you cannot have an offline business or presence without having an online presence.
That's very true.
It doesn't work anymore because everything is done now digitally. We are online. The internet is our new world.
Right.
So Mr. Ash, through OnPassive, has created an environment or ecosystem for us to do business online.
Right.
And guess what? At a very cheap price point. There is so much more for everybody.
Yeah.
Let's make the price point affordable for the entire world.
Right. Yes.
Right? Let's keep it simple. And he has the audacity to step away from greed. He and his wife, his beautiful wife, behind every successful man, there is a woman. She is the engine behind this OnPassive. We have to recognize that.
Yeah.
So he says, let's do it differently. Let's create an environment where everybody can play the game and also benefit from the profits. Yeah. Not just one person making billions of dollars. It's unacceptable. We have children on the street with no shoe on their feet, no food. So when I heard him speak, I was like, this is Jesus has come back on earth. No, seriously, his heart for humanity is quite obvious. He cares about, I'm like, what does this man care about me so much? He's talking about me becoming financially independent, my family being taking care of my family. What does he care? Why? I was like, what kind of businessman is this? He needs to care about his business and make money for himself. Because remember, Ash, the idea of OnPassive is all inclusive. Yeah. So it's interesting because at that time, I've been taking notes. Every webinar, I will take a corporate, I will take notes. So now the ideas were all in my mind, and it needed an outlet. Okay. So the platform was going to be the outlet, but
sorry, I was going to say, so hence came your book, right?
Hence came the book, yes. Yes. So I woke up one morning, I said, I had an aha epiphany, if you like. What the heck, write a book? It was just as simple as that. They've refused to have you on the platform to do a 20-minute talk, write a book. That's how we started. So, but in hindsight, with all my anger and rejection, I realized that I could not really talk a book if I consider talk a book in 10 minutes. Wow. You can talk a book in hours, but not in 10 minutes. So in a way, the rejection was a good rejection. And I say this to all my sisters and brothers out there. If anybody has rejected you, listen, don't wipe your tears, stop crying. Say thank you. Rejections are all good. Rejections are always good. What it does is that it pushes you to think differently, or it opens a new door. Yes. Because that thing that you desired the most may not have been a good thing for you moving forward. Yes. But when the rejection happened, you thought it shifted your thinking for something that was much, much better. This rejection.
Yeah, it's just so amazing to hear your journey. And I just want to start wrapping it up. But, you know, the beauty, I feel, of your story, and because I always like to kind of think as you're talking, okay, what's our takeaway on this? What is she saying? And, you know, the beauty of it in what I'm hearing is through this process, through the things that you learned and how you came into OnPassive, you were able to take all that experience and now begin to put it together in a book. And oh my goodness, Monique, you know, once this comes out, this is going to be amazing, because you have to consider in our community alone, we're over 700,000 members.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is just going to skyrocket you.
Yes.
So I just bless you in what you have coming out. I'm so excited for you, and it's going to turn out really well. And I can say, hey, I knew her when, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yes. Monique, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I so appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. And Tara, just to say that some people are asking, is the book published? They want to go buy. No, The
Right.
book will be published a month after we launch.
Right.
So the last chapter has to be written before the book is published. So please don't go looking for it online, not yet on Amazon. Just hold tight. When it will be published, we might have another talk again, because I'll send you a copy so you can read it. But hold tight. When you read it, it's actually, let me just say this before we go, Tara, quickly. The book is written for it's a book that is written, is dedicated to Ash and his wife, and also the entire OnPassive family. So it's a book for all of us. So I hope that when we all read it, it will make us laugh, maybe cry, because I have some personal stories there.
Yes.
And it will make us also see the great leader that we have as Ash Mufarah.
Yes.
The world will forever talk about him, because this thing right here called OnPassive will transform many lives. So
yes.
the takeaway is really that OnPassive has inspired all of us.
Yes.
And Ash, the leader of OnPassive, has really helped humanity and all of us he's awakened the giant in me. So I hope that OnPassive will also, or he has also awakened the giant in you.
Yes.
It's not just about making the residual income, but it's what the process is, the enjoyment. I enjoy the process so much, so that when we hit that whatever thousands that we're going to make or whatever,
yes.
that is not the deal for me. The deal is meeting you and the entire OnPassive family. That is the joy that I will forever, treasure. And meeting, of course, the CEO, Mr. Ash.
That's awesome. So I want to make sure before we go, because our time is up, but
yes.
Tell us once again the name of your book and the name of the author, so that it is forever here on our YouTube channel. So go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. The name of the book is called The OnPassive Opportunity. And my name is Monique Ndikum Fru. That is the name you will see, Monique Ndikum Fru.
Love it.
That
was wonderful. Thank you very much, Monique. And thank you everyone for joining us today. I sure appreciate your time, and really be watching for this book, because it is going to be exciting. So have a super day, everyone. Bye for now.